Good evening, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
If you're from Hamilton, welcome. If you're here visiting, welcome as well. But if you're from Hamilton, whatever the ack is, by the way. Do you know my son made me sit in the car outside the European Counting Sunday night till they got the last kick of the ball before we went into the count? It was fantastic. My poor partner, he's a hippie. So I did send him the lines for reclaimers because his wee heart was broken. But no doubt the sunshine on leaf today. Just before we get started, you'll get canvas cards there. If you want to fill in the canvas cards and give some of the information at the end of the night about how you felt, if you're undecided and you're not sure, put any comments on it because we like comments as well. If you put the card in the box at the back, you're in the draw for a bottle of whiskey. What more?
Hey.
And underneath you've got a yes poster. We might take a wee photograph at the end of the night if maybe you've all decided you're going to vote yes. We can hold the posters up. In the meantime, you can use them as fans. So I want to talk a wee bit first, and then I'm going to introduce our two absolutely fantastic speakers for tonight. I wanted to be in the chair because I really wanted to control these two men. I'm only joking, there's no chance that I ever control these two men. And would we want to? I want to talk to you about hope, because that's one of the themes of this campaign. And I don't want to talk to you about what happened at the weekend and what's happened across Europe, because some scary things have happened across Europe. What I want to talk about is looking ahead and looking at the future. So we're looking at hope, and if you look up the dictionary definition of hope, it says it's an optimistic attitude of mind based on an expectation of positive outcomes related to events and circumstances in one's life or the world stage. And as a verb, its definitions include expect with confidence and to cherish a desire with anticipation. Now that sums up for me what I want my Scotland to be. That absolutely sums it up. And I wonder what you hope and expect and cherish for your country. Think about the hopes and dreams that you've got for yourself and your family. When you go through your life, you maybe hope to do well at school, you hope to get a good job, you hope to move to a bigger house, you hope to take part in some world event, you hope to travel the world, you hope to get involved in a charity, you hope to do lots and lots and lots of things that enriches you as a person. That's what you hope. You hope that for you and for yourself. But what I ask you to do is to take that individual hope, internalise it and use it as a hope for your nation. Because we want the same thing for the nation, don't we? We want a welfare state that looks after people. And I looked at a dictionary a lot today. The dictionary definition of welfare is the provision of a minimum level of well-being and social support for all citizens. Do you think we get that now? I don't think so. I'm hoping for a nation that treats its young, its old, its sick, and its vulnerable, and people in need with respect and dignity. That's not a lot to ask, but we don't get it right now. I don't want people to be demonised or marginalised for being young or old or sick or vulnerable or in need. I want a nation that gives hope to all these people, that gives opportunities to their young people, that gives training opportunities, apprenticeship opportunities, job opportunities, that doesn't include sanctions and destitution. Because I see a lot of people come to my surgeries who are facing sanctions every single day. I had a young man at a surgery a few weeks ago, and I met him in Larkhall Main Street on Saturday. He came up with me, Christina, thanks for that, it's sorted. They wanted to put him on a voluntary work programme to do something that they thought he should do, working in a charity shop, which is very, very noble. But this young man, in order to get the job in the field that he wants, because a graduate was actually doing a voluntary placement with a business to get him a job, but they said that wasn't good enough, so they sanctioned him. That's just shocking. That's not the type of country I want. That's not what I hope for my country. I don't want to be in a nation where you see the likes of Danny Alexander, smiley, sweet little face-off, opening a food bank. We've got many food banks in this local area, and as a constituency MSP, I've done many, many things, not for public consumption, that I have done for the food banks in this area, because you just do it, don't you? You just get out there and you do it. You don't seek publicity for it. You certainly don't stand there and smile and say, I welcome another food bank open. No, I'll be smiling when they start shutting food banks down because we don't need them. That's what I'll be doing. Be it nursery all the way through to higher education, we should have education based on ability to learn, not ability to pay.
Correct.
One wee thing that sticks in my head, and I remember reading it on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere I've read it, is imagine if the cure for cancer was locked in the mind of a young person that couldn't afford to be educated. That scares me. I think we've got an opportunity to change that. Where our babies, our grannies and our granddads get treated dignity and respect in all of our National Health Service. An ethical foreign policy where we don't ever send our sons and daughters to illegal wars, ever. A country that we don't have nuclear weapons in, an abomination, billions of pounds spent on nuclear weapons where we've got kids, we've got a primary school in Larkhall with a food bank, and we are spending billions of pounds on nuclear bombs. The kids there decided that some of their pals were hungry when they came to school, so they started their own food bank. 9 and 10-year-olds. I say billions, no bombs, which is a tagline that we'll all probably use. Billions wasted. The other thing that I want is a written constitution for Scotland, and a constitution is a set of your fundamental principles, your values as a nation that are underpinned by law. They give you and your state the rights and responsibilities as a citizen, a nation where equality and respect are the founding principles, not just something you do to make yourself look good on the telly sometimes. Principles that our society should have written in to its own constitution. We can do some of this right now, and we have done some of it right now. We've had a pretty good go at it in all the years we've had a Scottish Parliament, and I'd say that across all the parties have all had a good go at doing some of this right now. But what do we need to really do it properly? What do we need to change some of the things we can't change? What do we need to deal with the reserved powers that we can't use in Scotland because they're reserved to Westminster? It's like, use are you all big enough and brainy enough to be able to take that responsibility? I don't believe that for a second. I don't go for the too weak, too poor, too stupid attitude, because what I see every single day is amazing people, even the folk that work at food banks, the folk that work in the charities, the folk that work in all the organisations across the constituency I work with. I see amazing people every single day of the week doing their best. Ingenious, inventive, innovative people who make the best of what they've got and make it better. That's the type of Scotland we are, and that's what we should continue. But what do we need for that? It's easy, isn't it? Independence. Independence is a nation, a country, a state that actually takes control of its own matters. It means self-determination. And when you say self-determination to people rather than nationalist, because not all of us are nationalists. But just because you believe in your nation being an independent state doesn't make you a nationalist either. But I'll tell you something, I would rather have my type of nationalist than some of the types of other nationalists we've seen sweeping across Europe and most of England this week. I would rather have that type of nationalist. But then it's about sovereignty, it's about yourself. The self-determination part is about having the control, having the responsibility, having the right to make your own decisions. And see if the decisions turn out to be a mistake, well, we fix them because we take responsibility for them. And it's one thing we damn Scots are good at, is fixing stuff when we make a mess of them, don't we? Just need to look at our football team for that. Residents and populations are the people who should have self-determination. You should be able to go to the ballot box in 2016 and vote for the government that decides what's best for you in Scotland. We don't get that right now. What we get is the bulk of 50 million people, amazing people across the UK, that they make the decisions on your behalf. I would maybe take out a handful of rich billionaires in Westminster that make the decisions for you as well. People who have no idea what it's like to live in the waters, or Blantyre, or Edelwood, or Fairhill, or Larkhall, Hurley's Hill, Strotherhill. None of them have got an idea what it's like to live and aspire and hope, and every single day barriers are put in your road. They haven't got a clue. So therefore, when they make decisions, all the miles away, they don't make it in your best interest. What you should have is politicians that make the decisions in your best interest because you've told them that's what you want. And then see if they've not done it right. See if I've not done it right in 2016. Please go and vote for my rival, but it's Jackie Burns, so you might do that. But honestly, you've then got a chance to go and say, Christina, we didn't like what you did the last 4 years, so we're voting you out. And you know what, I'm a Democrat, I'll accept that. I'll greet for the weekend, right enough, but I'll accept that because that's what we should do. You can't do that with Westminster. When Westminster imposed the bedroom tax here, how on earth did we ever get to a stage where we tax sick and vulnerable people out of their homes? How did we ever get to that stage? We need to have that in Scotland, and the Scottish Government has managed to mitigate it. I don't want to mitigate it, I want to blink and well abolish it. Finishing up, because I want to introduce what our guests, and they're great. Think for a second what you hope for. Independence to run their own affairs. Independence to protect the sick and the vulnerable. Independence to give your children, my children, your grandchildren, the kids next door the best start in life, the best opportunities in life, hope for the future. It's our time. It's our time now. It's time to take control. It's time to take it back. It's time to forge that better nation. A nation of hope, of prosperity, of ambition, of good, solid values and ethics as a nation that values her people above everything else. There's a wee carving in the Parliament, and Tommy will know it, and it was Alistair Gray that wrote it, and it says, it's time to start working as if you're in the early days of a better nation. We're already in the early days of a better nation, but we can make it much, much better. And there's only one word you need to say to do that. And that word is yes. Thank you. To come and speak to all, everybody wants to come along and hear whether you're a yes, you're a no, you're an undecided, or you just, want to hear some more information before you even consider what part of that three sections you're in. The Jimmy Reid Foundation is something that I have taken a very, very keen interest on for a number of years. My dad was an old pal of Jimmy Reid. I knew Jimmy really, really well. I remember in Glasgow East by-election I spent the whole day with him, because Jimmy liked musicals and so did I, so I had a Rodgers and Hammerstein CD in the car, so we were singing in the rain and all that, driving along Chelsea Road. We had a great time, and Jimmy talked about the things that I believed in, about a valuable nation, about the people being the value of your nation, and that was the thing that really, really excited me about Jimmy Reid. To think that the Jimmy Reid Foundation, his legacy, is being carried on through Robin McAlpine is just absolutely amazing. It couldn't have been anybody else, I think. Because once you hear him, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I want you to put your hands together.